All right, we are live.
Whoa.
What's going on? We are here for our Sunday stream, Sunday series, and we're hanging out. We've got Carl, we've got Sasha, we've got Tosh from
Hi,
Alice, and
friends.
I'm Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here to hang with you, and hopefully my microphone won't crackle this time. But yeah, it's our sort of our Sunday tradition every other week or so that we do this. And we just love to hang out. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot to us in the chat, and we will answer them to the best of our capacity. But yeah, what have you guys been up to this week?
Oh, all of us?
All right,
I was like,
Oh man, where do we
yeah,
start?
yeah. I was asking any of you guys could answer.
Well, I am moving apartments actually very soon because I found a nice little spot up in Sunland, so I'm looking forward to getting. So it's just a big old packing process right now and everything, and it's exciting. So that's been most of my week. How about y'all?
That's huge news. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Wow, I love Sunland. Uh,
Yeah, it's gonna be
a
good.
little, yeah, yeah.
A
well,
little
I
far
just
north.
I just finished recording the record I'm starting the recording process, actually doing vocals for our upcoming next song. So that's been my big thing this weekend. Not totally finished yet, but that's a big thing on deck. So I'm super excited about that. Going to be recording some harmonies for that, but the main vocal lines are done. So yeah, like really excited. So I've been in my like zone because I have to get in the zone to do the recordings. So
It's
yeah.
sounding good for my ears.
Yeah.
I
How
heard
about
it.
you, Sash?
Uh, I'm having one of those moments where I'm like, I, what did I do this week? I know what time my alarm went off every day. And I know that until the moment that alarm went off, until the moment I fell asleep, I was very busy. But I'm having that, like, what did I do? I am also prepping to move. So my move is in a couple of weeks. So I'm in the prep space of moving, which is very exciting.
Mm.
And I'm very grateful for that. So I can't wait. I've also just been working on like the promo videos for the upcoming tour, which is gonna be
Yeah,
fun. So like I always love it. Just I don't know. It feels like it's one of the steps. I love steps. I like for things to happen, and then you check the box or cross it off or color the thing or whatever the list of the week is for me. And so that's exciting to feel like that's all starting to really come together. I'm loving that feeling. And then just like the rest of life stuff like work and that. So it's nice to know that we're going to be hitting the road again soon, and it's always that like ramp up to heading out, and I can't wait to hear the new hear the new vocals and figure out what the harmonies are we're
yeah.
gonna do. And so yeah, it's just a lot. And sorry, that's the air conditioner here making that horrible sound. I apologize, y'all. If you can hear it and I need me to be quiet, I will. So what about you?
Yeah, I guess for me, I just my brain just went blank. So that's interesting. Um, yeah, I was just actually recording Tosh because got a studio set up and she came over and getting those vocals down for our a new song that we're working on. Really excited about that song. Um, Also just getting ready to go on tour again, just it's that time where we start rehearsing. I think tomorrow is our first big rehearsal. And then it's just going to be a blur until we hit the road and then get back. So, but yeah, for anyone who's watching us, feel free to ask us any questions, ask us anything through the chat, and we'll be happy to answer.
We have a
Um,
question from Dwayne, who's asking what our favorite show was on the last tour, which is such a hard question because I think all of us kind of are the same in the sense that we love like touring. So we're like we loved tour. But some highlights for me was I really loved playing at Monstercade. This was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and also in Saratoga Springs, which is close to Albany, in New York. And I think what I loved, particularly about those shows is that the audience was like right there with us. There was no stage, really. And at Monstercade, actually, we had to kind of like set up on the ground. And so it's always really fun when you're just like immersed in the audience and everyone's rocking out together. And there was so much energy with both shows, which is like my favorite kind of shows, is when everyone is just in it together. So but we love all of our shows, so, and all of our communities. How about y'all? Do y'all have any favorite moments, or what's the highlight
From the
reel?
last tour?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good moments for me. I liked there's each night had its own charm, but some of the favorite moments are like in between the shows, where I like, I walk outside and Steve just like passes out on the bag of merch. So I actually posted a video up of that earlier today. Stuff like that, 4 a.m. working on merch orders, where we're all delirious and like having a crazy time with each other. Just like, wow, this is amazing that we're just doing this. So stuff like that.
So we're getting asked, actually, Bill McCrae is asking about coming to Central Florida, Orlando area. We are going to be in Tampa, so I'm not sure. I don't know in terms of geography if that's far, but we are playing in Tampa in October, so hopefully that's doable for you. We would love to see you there. And yes, we are getting asked from Devin if there's any decisions on our cover tune. That's actually a great question. We're focusing right now on the original material for So Below. But that we definitely will be diving into the covers once we're done with the originals. We're overdue in terms of finishing the second half of the double album. Well, overdue. We're kind of our own bosses. So there's really no deadline on that, but we feel like really compelled and super inspired to work on that. But there's amazing cover suggestions that are coming through that sound amazing. So I think we'll definitely be kind of diving into that soonish. So
Yeah, cover songs are really fun.
absolutely. Ozzy is asking what some of our favorite bands are.
Favorite bands. Ooh. Oh man. What are your guys' favorites?
Well, I'm wearing my Between the Buried and Me shirt right now from the Colors album. So that's going to be my answer for this time. But once again, you tune in next time. It'll be a completely different answer, most likely.
Probably be different.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been blasting this stuff like all week while I've been like, packing boxes. And also I've been building my new stage jacket and everything. It's all chalked up right now because I have done like making the design and then erasing it and making the design and erasing it. But I think I have a pretty cool idea so far. So it's in the other room and I'm excited to unveil that at some point. But yeah, I'm going to go with Between the Buried and Me this week. How about you?
I've also very like sometimes I like listening to more ambient music, especially when I'm working on things. So I like listening to like ambient electronic music. But yeah, like if I had to pick some bands off the top of my head, I think last week I mentioned AU4. That was a band that we really enjoyed. And I'm actually sporting my Obsidian shirt for all of our Florida peeps. Obsidian is one of our favorite bands that we love to play with in Florida. We've played with them in the Central Florida area as well. So yeah, I don't know. Scott, Sash, do y'all have some favorites?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like one of my all-time favorite bands is Massive Attack, and Nine Inch Nails. I don't know, like they always take a pretty high spot in my heart, they're sort of like references too for my own music and production, and like I just love how they've crafted their sounds, and it's like I always aspire to make make stuff sound as awesome as that. So yeah, that's me.
I think, I mean, a lot of what I listen to is like movie soundtracks. So I just like I feel like when there are words going on, I get too distracted by it sometimes. And so having just like a nice, I guess you would consider that ambient music, like a nice like tone of music is really fun. But like I am also into like bands. When I get in the car, what do I listen to? Because I don't want to listen to movie soundtracks in the car necessarily, because that does equal speeding ticket for me, like hands
Oh,
down.
wow.
Like movie soundtrack equals heavy foot. So, and I'm a little old lady driver most of the time. So, but you put Indiana Jones on, like you're gonna go 120 miles an hour. It's just how it is. So in the car, golly Moses, can't even think of it like now. Maybe some Pink this week. Like maybe I've had a lot of Pink going
Nice.
on, in my little like what am I like rocking out to in the car? What am I singing to that people are laughing at me in the next car? I'm also wearing one of my favorite band shirts. This is an Alice shirt.
Oh yeah.
So
Look at that.
I like that. I like
We're
Alice
insane.
a lot. Oh, we're wearing the same shirt. Like way to go, twinsies. So it's a good one. I like this shirt. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a music with no words person most of the time, but yeah.
We're getting asked by Gabby if there are any plans to play in the UK. Oh my gosh, that would be absolutely amazing. We would love it. We're hoping in 2024 to do more tours abroad. So definitely keeping our ears and selves to the ground to create those opportunities. We've never played in Europe, so that would be amazing. So we will definitely keep you posted when we're able to get over there. But yes, that's a big goal for us.
Yeah, definitely want to get over to the UK. Anywhere over there would be awesome.
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
there's any promoters or people that want to bring us out, feel free to reach out, and we would be happy to figure it all out.
Oh,
Um,
it's Bird. Hi, Bird. And seeing some love in here from different places. We've got Des Moines and Pocatello in the house. Sending much love to y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was reading about the electricity going out in Louisiana. So
Yeah.
hopefully our Louisiana peoples are doing all right. But yeah, feel free to ask us anything in the chats. So yeah.
Oh, here's a fun question. It says, when will you be 10 feet tall? I guess when you go ask us. So that's my only answer for that. I don't actually know.
I'm almost there.
Almost 10 feet tall.
We're getting there.
I feel
That's
10
actually a
feet
great
tall.
question. Yeah.
So Tampa, the date, or there'll be more details about that, but we're going to be playing there on the 10th of October. So if you want to mark that on your calendar, we'll be seeing you then. Ozzy is asking if we could ever play in Vermont, and absolutely. We planned a whole Northeast Coast tour for our last tour that we just did. And we haven't played Vermont yet, but we definitely would love to. So next time that we are on the Northeast part of the US, we absolutely will look into Vermont dates. That would be awesome.
I see James Robert Daggett's asking a cool question. He says, "Hello guys, I have a random question. How did you guys get to where you are? I'm a musician and I'm currently going full board on trying to make it. Currently in the band forming stage, but I'm not giving up. And I want to hear what you all think." And that's always a good, that's always a good question. And I'm always love like talking to people who are just starting their journey as musicians or artists or anything, and like I don't claim to be an expert or anything. Like I feel like the biggest lesson that I've learned is that everyone has their own path as an artist, and you just have to start making things, and putting it out there. you know, like it's always a journey. So like that's really honestly the best advice I could give you is just to con- just to do the thing that you are really passionate and in love with doing, you know, and don't do it for anyone else except for yourself. You know, just make the music that you would want to hear, you know, because like, you know, it's got to make you happy, you know. So yeah, that's it for me. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want
Yeah,
to
I would say
offer.
I would definitely piggyback on that. And first of all, it's really amazing like making music in this era for all of us, I think, because there's a lot of technology out there. And there's a lot of ways to meet people. So even collaboration, what's amazing is that you don't have to be in the same place to collaborate with people. I've collaborated with people that are in different parts of the world. So it's really amazing that you can find, your people in that way. And that's, first and foremost, if you're not doing a solo project, which is also awesome, just finding the people that really make you buzzed and juicy and excited and inspired. That's how I feel about the Alice folks. Like I'm always so inspired and grateful to get to create with my people here. And then, from there, just really allowing your voice to be what it is and just really leaning into that because, you have everybody has their own unique gift and their own unique voice. And I think, sometimes you can get really flooded because there's so much music out there and that's wonderful, but just to remember that you have your own unique voice. And then, like Scott was saying, that when you create something that makes you feel good, I think that, there's always people out there that resonate with what you create. So I think that's like the biggest thing is just creating from the heart, and please keep us posted. I'm really excited for you. And thank you for your question.
Yeah, that was a good one. Steve is asking, how did the makeup get started? And wait, hold on before we go into that, Sasha or Carl, do you guys have anything else y'all want to offer?
Y'all said it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Okay.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Absolutely agree with all of that and everything. So we're together.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Sash, this might be a good question for you. Steve's asking, how did the makeup get started?
I love this question. Thank you for asking. It's so back when we were doing the 13th hour anthology, when we were releasing a new music video and a new song and a new artwork and a new artwork. There you go. New artwork, a new music video, and a new song every full moon for 14 months. We sort of developed this dystopian, futuristic, fun little post-apocalyptic world. And I will say, total tangent, but the thing I learned more than I learned any other thing is that I do not know how to spell post-apocalyptic. It doesn't matter how many times I've had to write post-apocalyptic, always have to spell check that word. That one's hard for me. So going back to what we were originally talking about, our own little post-apocalyptic world, we wanted to come up with a way to sort of unify us visually as well as sonically. And so we came up with this idea of makeup as like indicating that we're a unit, we're a family, we're a chosen family, but we're a family, and so like, and I think that's more important. And so so we came up with the makeup idea then, and it's just sort of evolved over time. We've worked with some really amazing makeup artists throughout the years who have really helped us like hone the idea. And of course, as all things, it evolves. It's about to take another big like step into another evolution, and that's a very exciting time. And so thanks for asking. That is the where it came up with the sort of super fast answer there, but I love it because I feel like it's kind of like armor, like it's kind of like armor. You're going to go on stage, and like if I were going to go on stage like this, that's way scarier than going on stage like with the face paint and the leather jacket, and I'm like, I can do the thing. And I know that's different for everybody, but that it really helps me in the performance universe to feel like I have this little layer of armor on visually. So thank you for asking.
But I mean, it also connects to like, I know a lot of our members, in the band, like they have theatrical backgrounds. So like I know Sash and Carl and Tosh, like you guys have all done like theater and productions and plays and film and TV stuff and all that. So I feel like that all that stuff is sort of an influence. I feel like, sort of comes in.
I think
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I think that we are all theater kids. So I think that's something we've always had fun with. We've always had that kind of mentality of how to bring the theater to the stage. So yeah.
And I saw a question from Marissa. She was wondering, where can you order CDs? So I'll just throw a link up really quick in all the places. So
Evan's asking how many Mad Hatter Army members we're up to, and I think we're like around 8,000.
Actually, technically 13,000.
Oh, okay.
Because the Mad Hatter Army Facebook group is just a slice, because like we actually, like people sign up through our website. So it's technically 13,000. Like there's like around 8,000 or so like Facebook group members. There's like a ton of people on our Discord right now, but like it all like adds up, it's pretty incredible. So
Wow.
So we got like a real army.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're
wow. Thank you everybody for making this possible, for spreading the word, for being so supportive and kind and loving. And like really like it's when asked about how the band formed, I went back to the little roots when we were just first like putting our music out there, and to where we are now. And I just love that it's a continual evolution. And our community, the Mad Hatter Army, like y'all inspire us so much. So often like when we're planning even a tour, we're like, okay, how do we get to all these places? And that's really important to us, because it just really means a lot to get to connect with y'all. So thank you.
Yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, so you could get our CDs on our store. Also, if you actually get a starter pack, you could actually add on any and all of our CDs at a discount as well. So that's always an option. Yeah.
I think we were getting asked about Alabama, and I think the closest we're coming, I did try to look into shows, is Memphis. And we were asked about Tennessee as well. So we are playing in Memphis on October 12th. So I'm hoping that's close enough to some of y'all that you can come and hang out with us in person. We would absolutely love it. So that's going to be the date. We're squeezing as much as we can in October. And then in the meantime, like trying to also finish the album. So it's like a crazy juggling act where we're like, okay, we need to go to all these places, but we also need to like finish the album. So if only cloning was a thing. Just putting it out there. If anybody has cloning technology, send it our way. But yeah, we've been wearing a lot of hats, and we're aiming to actually have at least one new song ready to go for the next tour, at least to be able to play it live. But I think there's a few on deck that we'd love to play live. So that's kind of on deck for us.
Stephanie McCormick was asking if we're going to try out any new material on the first night of our tour in Mariposa.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So to piggyback on that, for sure, the song that I'm working on right now with the vocals, that's definitely going to be on deck. So we'll be sharing that, and we have a live stream to kick off our tour, I believe July 9th. So I think we'll be playing maybe some new material then. So yeah, you guys can get some previews.
Yeah, I will actually be playing previews for Inner Circle members as well. As part of the perks of being in our inner circle is actually hearing music before we release it. So once we have some of these vocals finished, we'll have like, I think, something to share for Inner Circle peeps.
So we're getting asked about our Eugene, Oregon Old Nick's Pub show. I believe the tickets will be available at the door. So some of the upcoming tours, like and also in the past tours, sometimes the venues don't have the tickets online. So it's just a matter of like getting the tickets at the door. So but we're excited to see you there. That's gonna be so great.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to us or to the venues too. Like if you're trying to figure out where to buy tickets, oftentimes just reaching out directly to venues is good. We're still pretty under the radar. Like we don't play like Live Nation venues or Ticketmaster, so like every place is different, and we're sort of we're beholden to what the venues do in terms of tickets. Sometimes it's just like cash only at the door, so sometimes they're free too. Like we have, last tour we had a free show, so that was awesome.
Yeah, we have I think at least one free show on this upcoming tour, maybe a few, but actually no, we have 2 free shows. We are playing for free in Mariposa and also in Pocatello at First National Bar. So yeah, we're it's always wonderful to get to make that available for people, so if you are in the area and you're short on funds, it's a free show, so it's something that hopefully you can at least spend the time. But anyway, we'll be I don't think there's a few online sales. I know that Seattle and Portland both have tickets that you can get online. And that's page. It's also on our Bands in Town page. So just go to the event page or the Bands in Town and you can get the tickets online through there.
Here's the link. I will put the link right there.
Yeah, all of our in the upcoming tour, besides the Colorado Springs show, all of the event pages are up. So if you have any particular questions about those shows, you can always post them on the event page. I know that for the most part, the venues are also good at getting back to people with any questions. So
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
so we're getting asked
hello,
about
Troy.
Nebraska, and yes, we would love to play in Nebraska. We haven't been able to route that way on this last tour. And the next tour, we're actually going all the way to the East Coast. Once again, we're playing a vampire ball in Pittsburgh, which is going to be super fun. But we will definitely work on trying to get a Nebraska show. I actually tried to get a Nebraska show on this past tour, and then we ended up getting an offer elsewhere. But if we don't make it to your region, we definitely will continue to aim to get there one way or the other. So we love playing as many places as possible, and we try to cram in as many regions as we can. So we will definitely try to get your way. Troy is asking about Illinois, and yes, we are actually, the event page for that show is up. We are playing in Chicago on, what was it, October 14th. That's going to be a really fun show. So if you are able to get to the event page, you can see the details for that. So we are coming back to Illinois.
So this
and
is
Don says,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was just gonna say, Don says, come to Memphis, the barbecue is on me. So that was gonna say, hey, we're coming right now.
We are we're gonna be
coming over.
Actually already in the van.
We're gonna be playing at High Tone on October 12th. We're still putting together the night, so we'll have more details once we have that together. But if there's any band suggestions or anything like that, we're actually looking for a couple of local bands to join us for the night. But yeah, we're definitely playing in Memphis, and we love our barbecue. So please come out and hang out with us.
I was going to ask, because this is something that I did not know until I started like touring. So I guess not even when I started touring, maybe like in the last year. So just bear with me, guys. How do we find the event pages?
Yeah, so I mean, we have event pages up on our Facebook page at I Like Alice, facebook.com/I-like-Alice/events. So like we've got those listed there, but I find actually going through like places like Bands in Town, even if you go to our website, like all of our events are listed on the front page. So it's like www.ilikealice.com. And it's literally like right there, the first thing that you see when you scroll down, upcoming shows. And it's everything that's on our Bands in Town page, actually. So it's great. It's a good way to get like actually direct links to the events. But if you want like more information, if you want to RSVP or anything, go to our Facebook page, and that's a good place too.
Thank you, because that was beyond me until like a year ago, and I was like, I don't know. And so if I don't know, I bet other people didn't know. So thank you for answering that question.
Oh yeah.
Bird is giving us some really sweet love. We loved meeting you too, Bird. We got to meet with Bird, and we're again just really grateful for the kindness and support. So thank you.
Yeah, you rock, Bird. Yeah, I'll throw up the link to the event page too. So I'll do that.
Oh yeah. Scott will post the link there so y'all can see that. Devin's asking, oh, it's so sweet offering to buy us dinner. Yes, food is always so appreciated and so welcome, and we absolutely yes. we will take you up on that. So thank you.
For food.
Yeah, I do a lot of the cooking on the road. Like I bring my slow cooker. But anytime we have food, that means more sleep, which is amazing. So thank you. Oh, and Ozzy is asking if you find like bands online or places to play in Vermont. Yes, please send an email over. Is it Scott contact@ilikealice.com?
Contact@ilikealice.com is a good one, or alice@ilikealice.com, or scott@ilikealice.com. Honestly, you can email any of us here. So, but yeah, send us an email, and we'll get it all figured it out.
And happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Indeed.
Yes, much love to our fathers.
Yes. Yeah. So we're here.
How is everybody's Sunday out there? Are y'all enjoying it? And I've seen some people that are actually working, so hopefully we're making your workday go by a little better, if it's not already. Oh, and Lou is asking about Flagstaff. We are going to be, I believe, there's going to be tickets at the door for that show. So just come on over, and they'll be selling them there. And also, Kevin was asking where we're playing in Des Moines. We're playing at Lefty's once again. We're super excited about that. That venue is amazing. So yeah, we were just chatting with Zach about that. Zach's actually our wonderful, incredible promoter and the owner of Cranial Nerve Records, and he's putting together the show for Des Moines, and it was epic last time we played there. So we're going to be all getting to work together again, and really excited about that. Parrish is asking a really fun question, which is, how do we motivate ourselves to practice?
Well, that's a good question. I feel like for me, it's just wanting to always try to be a better musician, and like I'm always like, blown away when I see musicians live that are just like really good, just in terms of, from the perspective of a guitarist. It's like, there's a lot of different things that are great. Like there's the idea like of just being able to keep going and just playing solid parts, and holding it down. Like to me, that's a really amazing thing. Like, so if you're a guitarist and practicing and playing, learning how to play like really fast parts or really like crazy runs and that sort of thing, that's awesome. But I feel like the real secret sauce is just learning like how to hold down a rhythm part, like it's not the easiest thing, so just like practicing rudimentary stuff, you know. But anyways, I could go on for hours about that.
How about Sash, you and Carl?
I was like, oh, you go. No,
You
you.
go.
Uh, oh, well, I have my like kind of silly go-to self-deprecating answer, but then I was like, maybe be honest and say like the real like let's get real talk. Because I deeply care about the people that I get to make music with, and I deeply care about the music that we're making and about the people we're getting to make music for and with in the sense of like the exchange that takes place between anyone listening to the music, whether it's in your headphones or live, and us. And so there's like this, like, it is my service to not suck. It is my service to do the best possible job that I'm capable of doing. So that requires practice. And I know that there are people who can show up and do it. I am not one of those people. So I feel like the practice really serves that mentality. So I guess that's my kind of sappy Sunday answer, but it's very honest, you know, like so what about y'all?
Well, I guess since we're going the honest route, when I first started playing with this group of musicians, the thing that really motivated me at first was the fear.
Ah,
Oh man,
Fear of
y'all,
what?
the fear was of y'all. Oh my God,
Oh my God.
like the fear was so real. So whenever I first started, I had I think we established what it was like 3 weeks to learn the live show catalog, and I wanted so badly to just make sure that it was right. And which was, you know, it was the beginning and everything. I know it's not a matter of like right and wrong. It's an art form, it's interpretation. And the thing that was cool is that whenever I was growing up, I was always a cello player, and a lot of the music that I played in the orchestras wasn't always that challenging. So I never felt the need to practice. It just kind of, I would, you know, we would have our rehearsals like 3 times a week, and that was kind of like my practicing time. But um, luckily, I got out of that mode over the last couple of years because I actually found a lot of joy in practicing and a lot of joy in being able to open up a piano uh, for more of like finding a voice and being able to find uh, my own version of my of like unique expression through the instrument. And you can't do that if you don't practice. And
Yeah.
I've barely scratched the surface of the potential, and that's been coming from like back in like whenever I started practicing 12 hours a day, and now it's getting, I don't do it that much anymore because I wouldn't have any black hair left if I did. Um, but it's really amazing to practice because it helps you understand your instrument. It helps, as cheesy as this sounds, it helps the instrument understand you as well. So that's what motivates me to practice and playing with these 5 amazing artists because I just want to be on their level. And the thing is, it's never going to get because they are always practicing too. So I'm always practicing. So we're always just going to keep lifting each other up, which is great. And it's that a really great motivation to just want to be on the same level of musicianship as everybody else. I would say that's my very long-winded answer. Sorry about that. I'm out of water.
Right? I wanted to add something really quick too, like in terms of practicing, like for anyone that wants to perform like on a stage as a musician, I find that like when you're performing, it's much different than when like you're like in your bedroom, for example. Like so it really pays off to have practice because once you get things into your muscle memory, then when you're on stage and you're nervous and you're sweating and you're like, you know, your heart rate is up, like you're going to have to depend on your body to know what it needs to do. Um, anything you can do to like not have to use more mental energy so you can just focus on performing is something that is good. So practicing enables you to not have to think as much about what you're doing on stage, if that makes sense. And you could just feel it more, you know?
Hmm.
Anyways, that's it.
Well, I started playing the piano when I was 2. And so it's interesting because I teach now myself. I teach piano and voice. And so, you know, when I have the experience of teaching kids, um, it's interesting because I loved to practice, and I often encounter people that don't. So I have to like rewire myself to really ask myself, like, what is it that I've always loved about practicing? And I think for me, it's just that it's like this peaceful Zen place for me. It's like how some people describe like riding a bike or doing yoga or meditating. Like that's actually what practice is for me. It's always been a safe spot for me. You know, I've mentioned this before on other live streams, but I was severely bullied growing up. And so, but like when I came home and I played my piano, it was just like, oh, bliss. Like everything just kind of went away, and I was just me and the piano. And I would write songs and just get to express whatever I was feeling. And you know, I think it's interesting because, you know, when you approach practice in a perspective of like, oh, you know, there's that perfectionism aspect. I have studied from classical teachers who were very much perfectionists, but I've also studied with people that have reminded me that it really is about finding the joy and finding the bliss and finding what it is that really inspires you. So sometimes like making up your own exercises can be really fun, or like trying to figure out like how somebody else plays a song. So if like you have a favorite artist or a favorite song, like diving into that, because like you know, when teaching, sometimes some of my breakthroughs with my students will happen. Like I'll see the look on their faces, which is so gratifying as a teacher when they're like, oh, I'm making the same notes as what I'm hearing in that song, and that's awesome. And so like I think, you know, everybody is different, like in terms of like what motivates them, but like I think maybe something that might help if you're having trouble with the motivation is finding something that makes it fun for you. So whatever that looks like. I'm not sure like what your instrument is, but you know, if you find a way to like go like, oh, you know, well, who is my like somebody that I really look up to and how do they do that? There's some really great YouTube tutorials as well. Like I'm always like trying to figure out how to push my own envelope. So I'll always be looking for vocal, you know, different techniques. And I'm always like, okay, what's a new fun song that I can dive into? And so there's a lot of different styles to explore there too. And and sometimes even changing up instruments. So for fun, like I've taken some like percussion and drum classes, even though I will never be a Steve. But it's just really fun, you know, just to kind of be like, okay, it gives you a little perspective and it kind of takes you outside of the box. So, but just some food for thought. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, we could go on and on about this sort of thing. You know,
Yeah.
probably have like our own little like
question though.
We had a question, Scott, about the starter pack. If you want to,
Yes.
if you want to describe.
Awesome. Yeah. So our starter pack is this little packet of goodness that we put together. Each one is actually hand written and personalized by the band. We're actually getting together later today to write out all of our starter packs, but each one is essentially like individualized for the person that orders it. It comes with this awesome download key, which has all of our most recent songs from As Above, plus like our newest singles that are going to be on the next album. It comes with a wristband with the Alice logo. It comes with a signed postcard, like a picture of us. It comes with a sticker and a handwritten note from Sasha because she's been writing a lot of these. What else? And also a behind the scenes digital download. And this is actually our version 1. There's a new version we just came out with that actually we have some awesome additions to that. We have a dog tag that's branded as the Mad Hatter Army. There's a bigger picture in it. There's like a whole different sort of thing for the signed note. So it's really fun. and we put a lot of love into our merch because it's literally like the way in which that we can continue doing what we do. So every time someone grabs a starter pack, it pays for the shipping and materials for us to continue making them. So it's like a self-generating and self-replicating bundle of love, you can get from us. And then by buying it, like it's also like you're basically funding us to continue like making more of them for other people. So we really just appreciate your support.
I do have to chime in real quick that the handwritten note is Miss Sasha's incredible handwriting. And that's every single one is written by hand by Sasha. So that is a lot of love. And yeah, that's actually what we're all doing later on this evening. We're all like packing starter packs and our merch orders, and just always it blows my mind when it's like I see like the addresses and I'm like, oh look, there's a place that we need to go to, and there's another place we need to go to, and it's again like feeling that immense amount of gratitude for the support. So yeah, thank you for asking about it, because that's something we absolutely love putting together. Actually, fun fact is that the earliest version of starter packs started when we were playing this masquerade ball called Labyrinth, and it was based on the movie Labyrinth. And we thought it would be really fun if we just kind of like hid them at the event so people could find them.
Oh, the keys, right?
Keys, yeah, we were hiding the keys with the download codes, and like people were like, what is this? So those were our earliest version of starter packs, but the ones that we have now are personalized to you. And I think there was a question in terms of being able to redeem it, and it should be a lifetime redeemable thing. If you have any trouble with it, just please message us and let us know. And that goes for any of the orders. Like we really appreciate people's patience, but if you do have any issues, just messaging us directly is the best way to do it, because we will do what we can to get your merch to you and your music to you, because
yes.
we absolutely value y'all. So,
and Paul was wondering, there's other things as well, so that's correct. There's like add-ons you could get. So like if you do grab a starter pack, you could get a bunch of other things as you like get it. So you can order any of our CDs. You can also, there's a check mark for something where you could actually like get us all to sign the CDs. You get a signed poster. You could actually get our new dog tags. Like that's an option. Forget what else. And then after that, like you actually have the ability to get what we have. It's a VIP bundle. So that's a whole other thing. And yeah, there's a lot of goodies.
And also, Paul, if you are having trouble with the actual ordering system after this, I know Scott's been really helpful with other people if you're having any kind of like questions or technical issues. So definitely we can reach out to you directly so that we can help you with that. And I love that you love our music. Thank you. Oh, Stevie is asking if we would ever do a DVD on sale, or would we rather just do performance online? So we actually do we do live stream kickoffs for our tours. But I think it's just kind of like the idea of the CD, like having physical merchandise, which, we're obviously gonna be finishing up our double album, but we're gonna have a CD and hopefully some vinyl to go along with that. And I love the idea of having like physical merch for people. So I think having a DVD or Blu-ray would be amazing. Yeah.
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
I wanted to answer, Kevin Smith asked, what is the worst thing that has happened on stage? So, well, I mean, we've been lucky where, our shows have been, relatively great. Once in a while there's like a technical issue that happens. We've had friends that have had horrible things, but we shouldn't even talk about that, because that's just insane. But it's normal stuff, like, some equipment breaks down or the PA goes out. So oftentimes, like if the PA goes out, It's because we're usually like in the middle of like a breakdown, or we're all rocking out, and all of a sudden power just goes out, it disappears, and we're all just like, all right, what do we do now? So we usually just start. Last time we just improvised at Wasteland Weekend. The power went out there, and we had our friend Kazi there with us, and she was, or was it Sheena, or I forget. But yeah, we just started just like jamming and playing with the crowd. Like we had acoustic instruments, so we were like using our drums, and then the power just came back on. So it wasn't so bad.
I'm I think Kevin was asking about if I get writer's cramps, or I assume like writer's block. And yes, absolutely, I do. It usually stems from having to juggle too many things at the same time. So when I don't have time to write, it's harder to get into the flow of it when I actually have a regular practice. Because when I am writing, I'm actually writing multiple things at the same time. So I'm writing songs, I'm writing stories, writing for the comic book. I just love to write. And if I run into like roadblocks, so some of the things I do to kind of navigate that is that like I'll draw, or I'll take a walk, or I'll noodle around on my piano, or I'll play around with a different melody, or I'll just step away from it altogether. And I try to be kind to myself, because again, that perfectionist inner voice, I think, is present probably for all of us. But for myself, I'm like, of course I want to like do the best for the song that I can, because obviously I want to make music that
Mm-hmm.
that feels like, what's the word? It's almost like it just feels like this really authentic, it's like an authentic voice. And so if I'm not hearing that voice inside, I'm like, okay, I myself love to spend time in nature. So I love going on hikes, because that's when I can really hear that voice. But yeah, I love that question. And I think Paul was asking about seeing us on Pandora. I love this question because it's so exciting. We just got onto Pandora, y'all. We are on Spotify, but it just recently got on the Pandora. So we're really excited about that. We have our own Pandora station. So for those
Yes, that is exciting.
Pandora, please come join us there.
I think Marissa might have been asking about the comic book. So we wrote a song for a comic book series called The Dead Lucky, and we're huge fans of the writer and the comic book, and everything about it is awesome. And we actually sell signed copies at our show. So if you come out to one of our shows, you can pick one up there. But yeah.
Yeah. And Ellen was asking if we autograph our books, and yes, absolutely, we absolutely do. We'll autograph whatever that anybody would like for us to autograph. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, good to see you, Dawn. So the animation on the comic book, Stevie is asking, so for Dead Lucky, there was a team of artists. For Flight, the comic book that we're working on, it's actually kind of a interesting process. We worked with an amazing artist called Jamie Curcio, and he helped us to animate live photos. Denise was our incredible photographer, and we got a team of people together. Carl was actually one of our characters in the comic book. And so that actually comes from live photography, that particular style. So, but we'll see what we do with the next installment.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think we're coming about to the end of our time here. If you have any other questions, feel free to come hound us in our Discord. We have a Discord server for those that aren't on it. Definitely check it out. Also, the Facebook group's a great place to ask questions for the band. I'm always on it. I'm always making sure it's running smoothly. So feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, we're all pretty accessible. So,
Yeah,
but
sorry, I
yeah,
got quiet for a
thanks.
second. I was talking to Parrish about Celtic instruments in the chat. So it was,
Oh,
yeah,
Nice.
that sounds awesome. Oh my God.
they're all so great. All that.
Well, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us and for your questions. And if we didn't get to all of them, you know, we'll try to address them next time we do the stream. But thank you
Yeah.
so much again for hanging out. It's so great to see y'all.
Thanks, everyone. Talk
And
to you
happy
later.
Sunday and happy Father's Day.
Father's
Happy
Day.
Father's Day.